co-housing as it is being lived in California anyway, that's what I know is California co-housing, really is a way of having friends around you, knowing the people you live next to, and having support. The sharing of tools and equipment and laundry facilities, all those things, means that everybody doesn't have to have their own individual things, so it's more sustainable. We have a little electric car here that we share, so you can go off to the market or to the downtown or something at 35 miles an hour in the electric car. Oh, you just sign up for it, and first come, first serve. We also have a guest room, and each home gets to use it 12 nights a year. And then if you don't use all yours, you can give it to somebody else if they need it. It's especially helpful for people who have the smaller homes. Use the common house for parties or meetings or whatever.
One kind of common denominator in co-housing is that it's intentional community. So the people who choose to live in co-housing are people. It is a values-based living. So we intend to live here, and we have a set of values that we all ascribe to. So that includes a sense of community. We believe in individual privacy as well as community. We promote diversity, sustainability. So because it's values-based living, we're attracting people who really want to be living in community. By design, in co-housing, you're encouraged to meet your neighbors.
My husband is Michael Black, who is the architect. He went to Scandinavia and studied co-housing in Sweden and Denmark and Holland, which is the area in which it began about 50, 60 years ago. And there are about 90 developments in this country now. The last 10 or 15 years it's kind of taken a foothold.
I like to call it a village because everybody is basically one big happy family, if you will.
Well, not always happy.
Mostly happy. And each family has its own individual unit to hide out. Like sometimes I like to hide out and I don't want to talk to anybody. But a lot of times it's good to know that people are there if you want it.
I grew up in the Midwest in a large family, and really since moving to California I felt isolated, socially isolated, and really missed living in community because the way I grew up was really community where you had people around, friends and neighbors and family.
The courtyard and the common house are like a meeting place. So you can come through and you're doing something, you just meet up with somebody and you start a conversation, so you're always running into people.
It shows that they have a good resale value and that it's not something so outside of the norm. It's really more like going back to a kind of village consciousness that we had decades or generations ago, I should say.
Sometimes, people will say, "Oh, co-housing, you live in a co-op or you live in a commune," and it's actually like living in a condominium development. Because you have your own kitchens, you have your own, well-insulated units. We are self-governing, so we don't have a board of directors, we don't have an outside association.
We work by a consensus decision-making process, which is something a little different than the normal Robert's rules of where you have a majority vote or anything like that. So we really don't vote when we come to a decision. What we do is we discuss the thing, we put out a proposal, everybody discusses, and they bring up maybe their objections or their concerns. And in that we work out through those concerns until the decision is comfortable for everybody in the community.
Studies have shown time and time again that the decisions are much more lasting decisions and more accepted by the people affected when you take the time to go through a consensus process.
The personality of this group is particularly inclusive, great cooks. The meals we have together are very good food, and we're enjoying just the day-to-day existence very much. Well, if there's anything that sparks you about this kind of life, then I'd say come and take a look. Nothing like seeing it firsthand to see whether you're drawn in.